Hey everyone, Leigh here from Martinuzzi Property Group with another weekly real estate market update. Hope you're having a great week. A little bit more rain upon us, just in case we need it. And guys, in the property market this week, again, a very quiet activity. Still is activity, but a lot quieter than we were used to over the last 12 months in that boom property market. And that's across Australia. CoreLogic reported this week that 42% of property markets, housing and unit markets in Australia have shown a decreasing value over that June quarter, which is up on the first quarter of 2022 by about 20%. Auction clearance rates are certainly low. They've been under 60% for the last 6 weeks running. So that's a good sign that the buyer or supply and demand equation is certainly balancing out, giving buyers a lot more choice. And the RBA raising that cash rate is certainly having a big effect on the buyer sentiment out there. And that's their intent, is to help reduce consumer sentiment, consumer spending, to help bring that inflation in check. And their goal target is always around that 2 to 3%. And now it's sitting around 7%. So they're certainly trying to bring that in line. And that's certainly having an effect on buyer sentiment in the property market. However, that's very short-term focused. I'm optimistic that the property prices will continue to stabilize for the next few weeks, but continue to rise over the long term. And a study by Metropole, which is tracked here in a chart, and I'll stick it in the link below, check out my blog, shows that property prices over the last 42 years have risen by 540%, which is on an annual average of about 7.62%. So whilst we've just come out of a booming market and perhaps running into a stabling market or a declining market even, we expect that over the long term, property prices will continue to rise. And most people are getting into property for a long-term focus or vision. And that's a place to live 5 to 10 years potentially. So long-term wise, historically, we've always seen property prices go up. And whilst the market might be a bit quiet right now, I'm optimistic that come spring, we'll see a bit more activity happening in our local area, albeit maybe not as strong as what we've seen in the last 18 months. Certainly inflation, nothing new that we've handled historically as well. The RBA has done a very good job of that in the last several years to try and keep it in that 2 to 3% band. However, now we're seeing it rise quite considerably. They're trying to bring that back down to that 2 to 3% balance. Property prices across the combined capital cities over the last 28 days have decreased 1.2%. Certainly some markets are being reported as declines of 10%. Up here on the Sunshine Coast, we're still a bit insulated from those declines and still seeing some good offers come through. Typically what we're seeing in the local area is instead of 1 to 2 weeks of getting multiple offers and selling very quickly, properties are now sitting on the market for potentially 4 to 6 weeks. And I think that'll start becoming the new normal over the next few months. But in saying that, we're still getting offers coming in the first couple of weeks for most properties listed for sale. Certainly, we're seeing a lot more buyer activity in that lower price category of a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 houses. When you start getting above 800, we're seeing a definite drop in buyer engagement in those properties. A-grade properties too, those properties that present really well and represent really good value seem to be getting a lot more interest than some as well. So guys, that's my weekly real estate market update. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it provides some value. And if there's anything we can help you with, give us a call. MPG with you all the way. Talk soon.